Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to briefing on Tuesday, the 25th. Yeah, rolling through January fairly quickly. It's been a very sort of settled month, really, with sort of similar weather patterns rolling through the entire month. Not a lot changing. Very stable. And you see, this is the overnight chart. How these weather fronts, they've been here for a number of days now, just out to the west of Ireland and over North Scotland, not really moving very far, giving some rain in those areas. But you moved on 12 hours and really not a lot's changed. We're still under this very slack high pressure because there's nothing driving it away. There's no jet stream. That's a long way north over Greenland and Iceland at the moment. So see very little change. These fronts will roll through, but unfortunately, it's a sort of slow-moving high pressure that's quite cloudy. And you can see over the next 24 hours into Wednesday, it's slowly drifting away over France, and we're starting to see the influence of some fronts. And then we get a cold front clearance, but behind that, another high pressure building up. So Friday looks quite nice, and hopefully into the weekend, similar sort of picture with a northwesterly again, as we've had at various times in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Settled weather, so quite nice. So back to today. Farnborough Taff. Sort of look out the window and say what the Taff's going to be. Light northwesterly, overcast at 800 feet, and they changed that within the last half an hour because that actually is what Farnborough are giving on their METAR at the moment, overcast at 800 feet. And then Prob 30 going up to anywhere between 9 and 1800 10k. There's broken at 1400 feet, which is pretty much I would say a rerun of yesterday, with lowish cloud, just about flyable, winch launchable, but sort of solid overcast all day. And Odium, currently their METAR is giving 500 feet, Farnborough are giving 800 feet. So I think it will generally improve, and hopefully at some point this morning we'll manage to get out there and go flying. When we do go flying, if we do go flying, the upper winds are just light, variable to the south of us. You can see 1,000, 2,000 foot winds are just variable. Some sort of westerly, southwesterly flow, but to the north of us, and I think over us, really, it'll be light northwesterly, 5 to 10 knots at most for most of the day. Suckpick, let's just wind it back. 8:15, just solid overcast, unfortunately. That's all we got, just white, as you would expect, looking out the window. And temperature-wise, it's probably going to feel very similar to yesterday. Didn't feel warm, that's for sure. 5-6 degrees. BBC was suggesting 7. 7 if you're in the shelter and not faced with a little bit of a breeze. The wind chill will take a degree or 2 off it today. So 6-7 degrees maybe today. And Top Meteo, a bit more optimistic. They always do the optimistic side of cloud cover when it comes to these sort of days, suggesting it's going to break up. I'm not entirely convinced of that. Today you might see the odd hole in the cloud, but I certainly don't think it's going to break up as Top Meteo is suggesting. Tomorrow, certainly suggesting less cloud, and Thursday when the front goes through, they're showing the front dragging its heels over us on Thursday, but I think it might clear through a bit quicker. So tomorrow looks like it could be okay, and Thursday when the front goes through could be quite nice, and then hopefully back to nice weather on Friday and Saturday. So folks, cloudy day today. Cloud base will go up enough, hopefully, to let us winch launch, but that's a fingers crossed. And looking better later in the week towards the weekend, really. So quite pleasant. What's going on locally and on the airfield? Well, airspace-wise, not really a lot. With the Southampton NOTAM that just seems to be permanent now, rather than an amendment to the AIP. And Salisbury Plain. So these three here are absolutely nothing to affect us whatsoever. And there's nothing really in our local area, to be honest. Fairford MATS, Fairford ATZ has been activated, but very, very quiet in our local area, airspace-wise. Jet movement, there's supposed to be an Airbus A319 going out at 11 o'clock. I think it might be an air test, but I suspect if cloud bases is below sort of 1,500 feet, they may not go. So they don't want to run the risk of not being able to get back in. So 11 o'clock possibly, but I suspect unlikely. We'll see. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not at Lasham at the moment, but I will be in fairly shortly. We'll just keep an eye on the weather and fingers crossed, hopefully be able to get something today. See you out there.